All right, everyone, welcome to the next episode of the podcast. Today on the podcast, I have a guest that probably everybody knows. If you haven't met him yet, you're meeting him today. He's very famous for his quick jokes and also an array of other things, having lived in Suncrest for, I think, a decade or something. But everyone welcome Peter Drubin. Is that correct? Am I saying it correct?
Yeah, Drubin. Yep, that's me.
Drubin.
Yes.
Okay.
Most people screwed up, so you're already ahead. Thank you.
Okay. So, Peter, tell us where you're from, first of all. People that don't know you, that have just moved into the neighborhood, you have a legacy of people know who you are here. But let's say no one knows who you are. Who are you?
I was born on Long Island.
Okay.
And grew up there until I was about 14. And my parents moved my family, it was just my sister and I, out to Park City.
Okay.
Which was in 1996, like way too long ago. Which when Park City had like one light, it was still like a quaint little quiet town.
Back in the late 1900s, is that what they're saying these days?
The late 1900s, yes.
Yeah.
I mined coal there. We had taken some ski trips there as a family when we still lived in New York. And then my dad always joked, he's like, it's so expensive to take a ski trip, it would just be less expensive to move there. So we wound up moving to Park City, and I went to just lived there for high school, and then moved away, went to college back on Long Island where my family was from, left, when it's small town, back then everyone's like, oh, everyone graduated from high school and their dream was leaving small town Park City. And now I think
you're moving there.
Now everyone regrets it, right? They're like, oh my gosh, everything was still affordable. Could have owned half the city by now.
You could have been the mayor.
Yeah, that would be great. After college, I moved to Arizona for a little bit, and then wound up moving to Suncrest in 2014.
So you'd say you're from New York, like you're a New Yorker.
Yes.
Am I saying it right? New Yorker. New Yorker.
Yeah, my accent's pretty much gone.
I don't hear any accent.
It might come out on a few random words.
Okay.
But
in high school, so you moved to Park City.
Yeah.
Did you end up calling that home because you were there? What age did you move there again? It was
14.
14.
Yeah.
So you were definitely like a full-grown, adolescent.
A full-grown
adolescent.
I'm barely full-grown now.
Is that an oxymoron? Full-grown adolescent?
Yes, I'm not full-grown now either. I don't know, by stature or by anything else. Definitely not mature, but
you're
fake it sometimes.
You're a big kid now, right?
Yes.
But at 14 on, you stayed in Park City. So and then you moved to Arizona for college?
No, I was in college back in New York.
You went back to New York.
I went to Hofstra University, which is a smaller school. People on Long Island know of it, but a lot of other people don't. So when you say, I went to Hofstra, they're like, Oxford? It's like,
yeah.
Do I strike you as someone that went to Oxford?
You could. I mean, you could sell it, So when you went back so you graduated high school in Park City.
Yeah.
Moved back to New York.
Yeah, just went to college there, lived in the dorms.
Wow.
But
was there a culture shock jumping back and forth? I mean, those are different worlds in the 90s.
Yes, kind of. We had AOL Instant Messenger, so we were somewhat still connected with people.
Yeah.
I could never, after graduating college, it made me realize New York is a great place to visit. I like to go there, the pizza, the Chinese food, the bagels, which now if I go visit, I knock off all three of those every day pretty much. That's the 3 meals.
Every day?
Every day.
That's the food pyramid there is pizza, bagels, Chinese food?
Yeah, absolutely. I go back, I visit. My wife and I still have a ton of family there. Pretty much all of our family is in New York.
Really?
But for lifestyle, quality of life, and raising a family, I couldn't think of a better place in the world than here.
Than Utah or Suncrest?
Yes.
Yes to both. So what makes you say that New York is a better place to visit and not live? You mentioned just the quality of life, those things, but was there something else back then that indicated you wanted to come back here? Because you mentioned you moved there and then you moved to Arizona. So you didn't come straight back to Utah. You kind of beelined over to Arizona, which is like the make-believe Utah, right? It's not the...
Well, my parents at the time, while I was back in college, they had moved They had lived in Park City by that point for
Okay.
7, 8 years and moved to Tucson, where my sister was going to college at the University of Arizona.
Oh.
So they moved to Tucson. And then when I graduated, I was like, I'll just go down there. That's where my parents and my sister were. So moved down there and lived in Tucson for 10 years. Or Arizona in 10, Tucson for a little bit, then the Chandler area.
10 years. Like
yeah.
a full 10 years in Tucson?
I'm old.
Wow.
Well, like 5 to
how
2
old is this guy?
I got some gray.
Game show question. How old is Peter? One of the comments. Yeah, I know exactly how old he is.
Yeah, don't look that up. But
Late 1900s old. That's how old we're talking.
yes. Yeah, but
10 years in Arizona, and then you...
I then wanted to ski more because the skiing in Arizona, believe it or not, is terrible.
I can imagine it rocks.
There's a few places. Oh, rocks joke, nice. Yes, there's Mount Lemmon in Tucson, which
Okay.
I think it's the southernmost ski resort in the United States.
That's in Arizona.
Yeah, it's in Arizona has maybe 3 or 4 different ski resorts.
I've never bothered to look. But
Yeah, most people wouldn't.
Yeah.
And wanted to do more skiing and loved it up here and had some friends living in the area at the time and packed up and moved.
So you were coming up to Utah to ski when you were living for that decade in Arizona. You
Yes.
made trips.
Yeah,
So
just
it was-
stay with friends or
But your family wasn't living here.
no,
Oh.
no, they were all gone, and I had never heard of Suncrest till wound up moving here.
So when you come back, did you have ever this sense like, hey, I might move back here? Or are you just like, hey, I like the skiing here. I'm in and I'm out quick. I know I live there, but it's not my home.
Yeah, I still loved Arizona. It's still a great place.
Still love it.
Yes,
Yeah,
Tucson, not so much. Tucson's kind of a weird, unique kind of
Yeah.
place. But like the Phoenix area has some incredible spots, especially, Scottsdale, Fountain Hills. It's beautiful up there.
Yeah, every place has its good and its bad, but
Yeah.
those have more good in general.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
around here, there's so much good
Yeah.
that the stuff people complain about, it's like people like to find problems,
Yeah.
and because you need
Interesting.
something to complain about.
We have to complain about something.
Yeah.
We have to have. That's what Facebook's for, isn't it?
Yes,
We have that page for a reason, the Facebook page.
it's just a complaint. Has anyone found my this?
Does anyone truly know the real Peter on Facebook? Does anyone truly know him? No. So whenever you were in Arizona, you were working. So what did you study in New York, and then what did you end up working in Arizona? Because you didn't work in New York?
While I was in college, I had a few jobs.
Okay.
I worked at Sharper Image,
Really?
selling air purifiers and random gadgets and gizmos. Even though I'm like the least tech kind of loving person right now, but it's just a lot to keep up with. But yeah, I worked at
Yeah.
Sharper Image for a few years, and then I worked at Petco, which I just affectionately refer to as Petco.
You worked at Petco?
Yeah, I needed a job for the last 6 months of college, and I would stock the shelves at Petco.
With pet food or with
Yeah, with pet food, and when someone would need a fish from like the little fish thing, I'd be the guy that scoops it out and throws it in the bag and ties the little knot. And
So you're making kids' dreams come true with the fish. You were the guy. You were that guy doing that with the little green net.
it's a lot of bad dreams. It's right when the time that Finding Nemo came out.
Oh, like 2002.
Yeah. Do you actually know when the movie came out?
I'm just saying that like I knew it. I'm not sure.
That was creepy. It was right around there.
Right then.
And so people would come into the pet store and they would see the clownfish, the little Nemo fish.
We had those stocked at Petco.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
there's saltwater fish and freshwater fish, which those fish are different and they do not coexist.
Yeah, I really can't
so-
imagine why. Yeah. 'Cause-
Yeah, because some of them don't work in different water. And so people would come in and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, look, Nemo. Like all the little kids loved it. That was the only fish people recognized. And so they want one. I'm like, all right, well, this is a saltwater fish.
Yeah.
It has to live in a saltwater aquarium. You cannot buy this and just throw it in tap water like the
Oh, no.
12-cent goldfish. So I don't know if everyone's dreams came true because we sold way too many Nemos for the amount of people that have a saltwater aquarium.
How much does a clownfish cost?
You know, you can find this hard to believe, after I stopped working at Petco
Yeah.
20 years ago, I've really lost interest in the clownfish market.
You've lost your edge.
Yeah, I really don't stay on top of clownfish pricing anymore. I mean, I'll have to look into it. I'm guessing $11.99.
That's what it was back in the early 2000s.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But were you aware of the movie and you'd seen the movie
Absolutely.
and then you're selling? You see the movie first and sell the fish, and that drove you to the clownfish market, or did you?
The clownfish market. No, that job was terrible, and I remember it vividly. There was a cute girl from one of my classes, because this Petco is 2 miles from the university, and there was this cute girl in my class, but I'm like dorky kid. I like never stood a chance. Well, she comes into, like I saw her walk into Petco. I was like, oh, all right, maybe I'll have a chance. I don't even remember her name.
Yeah.
And then I was also the guy that when someone's dog had an accident in the store, I'd have to clean it up.
You're the one cleaning up all the poop and everything.
While the girl that I had a crush on from class walks in, I'm like actively spritzing the floor with and paper towels. No, it was just a number one.
That time?
Yes. And the owners always feel terrible. What can I do? What can I do? We would say, we got it. Don't worry about it. Just go buy something. And yeah, I remember that someone walks in from class. I was mortified. But
But she was just buying. What was she buying? Do you remember what she was buying?
I have no clue. I think she lived in the dorms too, which a lot of people did there. I don't know what you'd be buying from a pet store.
Yeah. Maybe a clownfish, and you just weren't there at the right moment to sell it to her, and your coworker got it.
Yeah, I bet they're still happy together right now.
The clownfish is still alive. It's like super old. They don't live that long.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the ones I sold, I've probably lived like 20, 30 minutes in their new home.
So you have a deep passion for clownfish and Petco.
Huge.
But it was hard to leave moving to Arizona. But your family was in Arizona at the time.
Yeah.
So you did leave that behind.
Yeah, the day I graduated college, packed up I had a little SUV then, and packed it up and drove cross country that day.
Wow.
And I was like the New York rat race, where I'm from on Long Island, I feel like there's zero quality of life.
Right.
It's so much of people just work to enjoy like 6 nice weekends during the summer.
Yeah, when it's not cold. Or it's like a freezer up there. It's super cold.
Long Island's not too cold. It's not terrible. But in the winter, there's nothing to do. It's not like in the winter here where it snows and everyone gets excited.
Yeah.
It snows there and everything comes to a screeching halt. Long Island's just pretty flat. There's really not a lot there except for people and traffic.
So what are they doing all winter? Are they just waiting for
They're waiting for 6 nice weekends in the summer, and then they could go to the beach 3 times if they're lucky and take some pictures with their kids. Or
wow.
Yeah, it's too much work for not enough enjoyment.
It sounds like it's
enjoyment.
Good for
is that a word?
It now is.
Okay, enjoyment.
Enjoyment.
Yeah.
I think enjoyment's a word.
All right.
It's a verb. To enjoy. I don't know.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. No. This is why they didn't let me into Oxford. Don't you remember?
2002 that word came out? Is that when it came out?
Yeah, enjoyment. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you moved, you didn't have a job lined up in Arizona, but you went. You went there because your family's there.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you moved in with your parents.
Yeah, and I got I had a bachelor's in business administration, which then after I went and got an MBA.
You did? Where did you get the MBA at?
Oh, it's a very prestigious place, kind of like Oxford. It's the University of Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very.
They have MBAs there.
Highly regarded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Highly esteemed, yes.
Yes.
It's very popular today, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Moved to Arizona, and I had a brief stint in car sales until I got a job, which only lasted a week or two, until I got a job in the mortgage industry, which then I was part of that for a while, then left and came back, and now that's what I'm doing now.
So you said a brief stint in car sales. So did you find that, or did it find you? You had your car, and I'm guessing your parents had their cars already. What drew you into the car sales world? That's a very specific world.
Yeah, I've always been into cars and still am. I will be forever, much to the chagrin of my wife, because she doesn't get it, right?
Chagrin, that's a word I haven't heard.
I think it's Yiddish.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah, but she's not a fan, but you are.
Yeah, I love cars. Like, that's a huge, I'm a just car guy, just like anything that you could drive. and I was in sales in college and whatnot at Sharper Image. I was like, oh, this worked out pretty well, and it's kind of fun.
Okay.
And it's always something unique and different. You're never just sitting there dealing with the same scenario day in, day out kind of job. And I went to some networking event and met with someone, I can't remember his name. And he said they're looking for internet car sales person for their used car dealership.
What year was this? This was
2004.
so the internet was well on its way to being popular in 2004.
Yes.
It was bigger then. I remember it being a known thing.
Yeah, yes, people knew of the internet then. And yeah, I got a job there, which Tucson, what I was saying before, it's kind of a weird spot.
Yeah, you weren't a huge fan of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's laid out really weird. There's like one highway, I-10, but
Okay.
it's all the way off to one side of town and doesn't go through the middle of town. So imagine if I-15 here was just all the way out by like the Oakers, like out by the copper mine.
Oh, so we're like we're like perpendicular to it. Like
Yeah, it would be like if you wanted to go from here to downtown, you would have to take like Stage Street the whole way. That's kind of like how Tucson is.
Weird.
Yeah, the highway is like all the way on they put it in the wrong spot.
So it's inconvenient more than
Yeah, and then the north side of Tucson where I lived
yeah.
was like the very north side is where all the retirement areas are. It's beautiful. There's lots of golf courses. It's
Yeah.
green. There's mountains. Tucson's like 3,000 feet in elevation.
It's like the vacation spot over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So there's like the old people, and then there's the University of Arizona.
Which you're not old. You're not at this point. You're not old.
I'm still not as old as those people are old. It's like golf. They shouldn't even be driving golf carts old, like 75, 80, 85.
Okay, we're talking more advanced years here.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes, more experienced people.
Yeah.
And
More
then
knowledgeable in certain.
yeah,
areas.
Central Tucson's like the University of Arizona, which
okay.
is pretty much like the biggest thing in town. And then the south side of Tucson is where you start getting more towards like the Mexican influence because you're close to the border
Sure,
down there.
sure, yes.
So you got the whole span.
Okay.
And so yeah, I meet with this guy and interview with him at this networking event. Yeah, cool. Let's come to work. So it gives me the address and whatnot, and I get dressed up the next Monday or something and drive. And I drove from where I lived in Old Person, Tucson,
Right.
past the cool kids down to the part where the street signs almost start turning into Spanish.
So this is so you didn't know where this was.
No, it's not a part of town I go to because
Okay.
Peter no hablo español. But apparently that's where I took a job.
But you just spoke Spanish just now. You just said no hablo.
See. I could say no in English and in Spanish.
It's a hard one.
Yeah. And yeah,
Okay.
so I get this job down there, and I'm the internet car salesperson at this small used car lot. And
Internet car salesperson.
they did not have internet.
Wait, hold on. So you're driving to the place to sell cars online, and they don't have internet?
No. Which, looking back,
Explain this to me.
I don't know if I missed something here. That
I'm missing it right now.
they had no internet at the car dealership where
Okay.
I was the internet car salesperson. So I went there, and there's like just one computer, like in a corner, but it's like the whole off the dealership. Maybe it's like a double wide trailer or something, or maybe
Yeah.
four of them, a quadruple wide.
A full house. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. You could take all four of those, you turn it into a hotel.
One hotel.
Yeah, and there's like a computer in the corner, like on a little table.
Okay.
Like the fold-up snack table that like your grandparents would have in front of the couch.
Like a desktop computer.
Yeah,
just sitting
one
there.
of the desktop.
Okay.
But there was no internet there. And looking back, I was like, I don't know if during the interview process, if when I'm asking my questions to the employer about expectations and everything else that would come with the job, I thought it was kind of implied.
Internet.
Yes.
Internet's implied at the very. So
They had cars.
what was the computer doing there if it had no internet? Was it just sitting there?
I don't know, actually.
Did it use it?
I think they would use it to type up contracts to charge people 18% interest on used cars. But then they gave me a digital camera, and they gave me the digital camera, and then I could take pictures of the cars, and then I would have to go home at night and upload everything into like the online portal to list them on their website.
So you basically were a car photographer?
Yes, and then if someone would come in to look at the cars, they only spoke Spanish.
So you really felt at home there, having no internet and no Spanish.
It was very short-lived.
Yeah. How long were you there for then?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
I can't believe it lasted that long.
And it's left that big of an impression.
Yes, it was that ridiculous.
But you love cars so much, you still buy them today.
I mean, most people do. Right? Most people have a car, even if, at least here, you need one.
So if you're a car lover, the first question I'd have to ask, since that is an important part of Peter, since you've made it mentioned, what are the best cars and what are your cars?
Uh-oh. The best cars?
Yeah, if you truly love cars, you have your top level. What's your top car? Or brand? I mean, it could be, you know it better than me.
As if I won the lottery?
Let's give a lottery answer, then like I'm Peter today, and that's what I want now.
It's a great question.
It is a fun question.
Yes, I always like things that are a little different, a little quirky. I haven't fully caught on to the electric thing, but I feel like it keeps pulling me in slowly because they are crazy fast. And then I could be like everyone else.
This is a lottery winning price, right?
Oh, lottery one?
We're talking lottery and then real life, right? We have 2 cars.
Lottery one,
Yeah.
I'm definitely, if you asked me, like it would be the car that was on the poster above my bed as a child, the Ferrari F40.
Oh, it's a great car. Yeah.
Yes.
The red one?
Yes, which when I was on my honeymoon
Yeah.
3 years ago now with my wife. We went to Italy. It was my first time flying over an ocean. I had left the country before, but just north-south, never east west.
Yeah, never that way.
Yeah, and went to Italy and we went to the Ferrari Museum.
Wow.
Which between all the wine tastings and all the stuff she wanted to do, we went to Maranello, Italy, and you get to see all the. I was in heaven. I have a picture of me the first time I saw it like in person. Because they're very rare.
This was like recently, 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was the first time I ever saw one in person. And
Wow.
there's fancier, there's more expensive cars in Draper, but it's so rare. That's my holy grail.
And they had your model there that you want.
Yes, I needed I was short probably like $3 or $5 million. They wouldn't take a personal check, and so.
And you have to fly it back over, and then you have importation fees,
Yeah.
and the interest rates, the economy.
Yeah, it's no good. Yes.
So that's your dream car, lottery winning car, Ferrari. What the model? It was the Ferrari.
The F40.
The F40, okay.
Which would be like the most uncomfortable, impractical, whatever car.
Why the F? Just because you had it as a kid, or you chose it as a kid?
Can I answer yes to that one too?
Both.
I have
okay.
no clue. It's just like it's like the ultimate purist.
Yeah.
Like no frills, no cup holder, no this, no that, no.
It's just fast.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
like the raw, the sound, the feeling, everything you lose in like a new car.
What's your the favorite when you is it the sound, that car in general, everything about it? But what's the one standout feature that you go, this is what draws me in the most? Is it the design or the sound? What is it?
To me, I think Ferraris are probably the most aesthetically pleasing vehicle. They may not be the fastest, the most luxurious interior, or whatever. But I think from looking at it, almost all of their cars could be like almost museum worthy, just to walk around and look at, even if you don't drive it, just to look at them. I think the lines, they're very beautiful.
Every year they have a Ferrari. It's always a great year for Ferrari because it's a beautiful design. I agree. I like
their
that.
lineage in racing and Formula One and everything over there.
So we have your dream car, but what about over here in real life? IRL over here. What's the Peter dream car? Do you own it? Are you looking to buy one day? What's over here without the lottery?
Without the lottery.
You can't be a Civic, Honda Civic. It can't be something
No,
like that.
no. I don't know if my wife if she's going to watch this. Hopefully not, because I would get to some point in life, right, where after you've saved for retirement and saved for other things, that if you set aside a budget I want to create a reverse budget.
It sounds like you're trying to sell her on this idea right now.
Yes.
Is this already in motion?
sweetheart. You know that account we were saving for?
The college fund? It's not a college fund.
Yeah, the kids aren't going to school anymore. Sorry. Bought a GT3 RS. Yeah, if I could buy any car right now, although that's still a lottery kind of car. That's like a $400,000 car.
That's still lottery level. I mean,
Yes,
yeah.
but that's like scratch off lottery, not like
Yeah, that's like gas station scratch off lottery,
Yeah.
you know, where you got really lucky.
Yeah.
You know, buying your Dr. Pepper or whatever it is you're buying at the gas station.
yeah.
But what car is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Porsche lover,
Okay.
which is that brand has a mixed history of fine motorsports and making amazing cars.
Yeah.
But growing up, I'm Jewish, ish.
Jewish.
Yeah, there's a hyphen in there. They didn't have a lot of great involvement circa World War II. But we've made up, and now I'm
like
a big
them.
fan.
Is it the design as well with the Porsche? I've heard Porsche and Porsche. Am I saying it wrong one way? Porsche, is that an abbreviation of Porsche?
I always pronounce it Porsche, which I
Porsche.
believe is the correct pronunciation of it.
Am I saying it wrong?
Very wrong.
Have you heard it called Porsche?
I hear people say Porsche, and then people yell at them because that's not how you say it. I was like, yeah, but people call it a Chevy, and no one yells at you saying that's not how you say it. It's Chevrolet.
But in your world of cars, you say Porsche to someone who loves cars, they're like, this guy,
Yeah.
get him out of here.
Yes.
Yeah. So you say Porsche every time.
Yeah, I love those.
Okay.
That'd be good. I currently have a crush on like an Audi RS6, which is like
Ooh.
the wagon.
That's a pretty cool car.
Yeah, I feel like that's the ultimate kind of Utah. I'm not like the Toyota 4Runner Tacoma.
You're not that guy.
No, I don't mountain bike. I don't hike.
Yeah.
I like to downhill ski because they like lift you up to the top and then you just have to do the fun part.
You just sleep on the way down.
Yeah, I'm not the earn your turn like hike for 6 hours so you can just take one run.
Not the hike up and get lost in an avalanche type.
No, no, I don't.
But you like going fast, so you like risk, but not in snow. Just on
no
the
downhill
road.
skiing. I like going fast.
Oh, you like going fast? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I don't. But I.
Okay.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Cars.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a $300,000 car, but you have the Audi.
I don't have it. That's what I want.
Oh, you don't have? Okay.
No, I don't have it.
Well, what do you have?
I have 2 project cars, which I'm going to be the person that's tinkering forever.
Project cars.
I have one project car that actually works for now, which is my 2010 like race used NASCAR, which I bought a NASCAR. I don't
It's
know.
an actual NASCAR.
Yeah, it was
NASCAR?
race used. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What drove you to buy one of those? I mean, you can't just slap the hood of a NASCAR and say this thing runs for miles, literally, and then buy it.
No, I had always wanted one. I thought it would be cool and kind of quirky and weird. Quirky and weird?
I think it's like an extra quirky.
Both.
Yeah.
Yes, double quirky.
Super quirky.
And it's like I wanted something that no one else would have, and I wanted a project. And so I found someone selling one. I'd been a NASCAR fan for 20-something years. I'm a fan of pretty much all motorsports.
Cool. Yeah.
And I was watching. I was like, gosh, that would be really cool to drive to the grocery store. And so I found one.
Yeah.
I had looked online, whatnot, and someone was selling it on a Facebook Marketplace because most NASCAR teams are based out of North Carolina, but there was one out of Denver.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was race used in 2010 at Talladega, so kind of a little Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights feel. Yes.
What do we do with our hands?
Yes.
Is it this?
Which that is clearly the best movie of all times. I've seen like 8 movies. I don't have the patience to sit down, but I could watch that movie every day.
Okay.
Which coincidentally, now the car is wrapped. It has the Blue Sky Home Loans logo on it, but it has the number 26 on it and it looks just like the Ricky Bobby car.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't make that connection.
Yeah, it even has like the fake sponsors on it from the movie.
Do you have Shake and Bake written on the back?
No.
Oh.
I didn't want to get sued or something.
Everything else is fine.
Yes.
Just that's not.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I bought it on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, I have to do it now. It was before I was engaged.
Was it expensive?
No,
No.
it was just the rolling. It was just like the rolling chassis, right? It's just like
Oh,
the frame of a car with the body. It
No
had
engine,
no
anything?
engine, no brakes, no wires, no fuel, no nothing.
Really? And
Yeah.
you were like, I want this.
I think this is a great idea, but I was still. I was not engaged. I was
Yeah.
dating, and I
Yeah.
could see where this relationship was going. I was like, if I have to make a decision that I'm definitely going to get some grief on, I'm going to do it now because
Yes.
I can't get in trouble yet.
That's the best mindset.
So, yeah, rented a trailer, towed the trailer to Denver, loaded up the race car, and towed it back home.
How'd you get it on the trailer without a motor? Did you just
The
push?
trailer had a winch.
Oh,
Just
okay.
Pulled it up there, and I put it in my garage and worked on it for 2 winters. And now I drive it to Harmon's, and
You drive it to Harmon's. So
Yeah.
how do you get there if it only turns one direction? Does it not turn the? Doesn't it
it's
only
really
turn-
good at turning left.
Yeah, can you turn right in the thing?
Not as well. It likes to go left. Like when you're coming up Traverse, the turns that you make a left, like by the Suncrest sign, I could just let go of the wheel. And
Does
the
it
car-
actually like to turn left?
Oh, the
I'm
car-
joking, but is that really what's going on?
If you don't hold it straight, the car goes to the left.
What is that? Just because it's tuned
The
to go?
suspension is all. There's nothing about those cars that are symmetrical, which when you go to work on them is really weird.
What?
Yeah.
So if you let go of the wheel, you start turning left.
Yes.
What's it like turning right?
Well, it has no power steering.
Do you like really get pushed over?
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah, it's fun.
I didn't know that.
It's fun. It's quirky.
Do you tell people that when you're driving it? Like, hey, we're gonna turn right.
Who am I going to tell?
Are there no seats?
No, there's one seat. The passenger, where the passenger seat would be, there's some fire extinguishers. The roll cage goes through there. It's like still the legit. You have to climb through the window.
Really? Does it have actual headlights or stickers for headlights?
Stickers, but I put little LED lights on it. It's got a license plate and a registration.
What?
It's entirely too loud, so yeah, I apologize for those of you that hear me. I try to keep it quiet in the mornings.
Whoa. In the mornings, you're driving. What's
Yeah.
the gas mileage on this thing?
I ran out of gas. I have no clue. There's no fuel gauge, and there's no speedometer, so you just drive it.
What is this car?
I don't know.
It's awesome.
Normally, there's a pit crew there that tells you when you got to come in. The crew chief tells you when you got to come in for gas. I don't know when I come
But you
in.
can put regular tires on it, and you can put
Yeah, it has
regular...
treaded tires.
Okay, so-
and it has a little 600 horsepower V8 in it,
Wow.
and so it takes pump gas. So I just drive it to the gas station, and
Just regular gas.
Yeah.
Like the cheapest one.
no, I put in like the highest one.
Premium. Oh.
Yeah, but not like race fuel.
Well, there is no race fuel at the gas station, right?
No,
But if you could, you would put it in there. Okay.
that would be fine. But yeah. So
But that's not your only car. That's just your project car.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that. Then I have
Yeah.
other cars. I don't know.
How many cars do you have?
3
3?
with a combined 4 seats, and then my wife has a car that you could like put kids in.
Okay. So you have the stock car, racing car.
Yeah,
Then you have
a 1965 Mini Cooper.
really
Yeah, that doesn't work right now.
that you drive in Suncrest.
I hopefully over the winter, I'm
Doesn't
going
work right
to be
now.
working on it. I own it, and I had it for a while. Then
Yeah.
it kind of sat there. But yeah, it's like right-hand drive, so with a manual transmission, so you're driving on the wrong side of the car,
Interesting.
shifting with your left hand, which is kind of fun. And it's
That
got
is
a
strange, yeah.
it's got an engine in it from a Honda Civic.
So this doesn't run yet, but you're gonna get it working.
Starts. Does that count?
I mean, if it doesn't get away from you, it's not running. So I guess it counts.
Oh, yeah. It idles.
It can idle. Why can't it go into drive? Is it the stick shift?
Yeah, I'll have
know.
to do some more work.
Oh. And then your third car is a practical car or a quirky car once again?
It has 2 seats, so it's got one more than the others.
Okay.
Which is not great for a family of 4. So I'm
Family
working
force.
on
You have two.
I have
kids?
2 children.
Okay.
Yeah, a 9-year-old daughter named Emily and a 9-month-old son, David.
Wow.
And so yeah, it's fun times over
How
there.
do you get around though without your wife's car with the kids? Do you?
We
just-
don't.
She's a big fan of this. You're a big fan of this setup, I'm guessing.
Well, I tell her I want to get a new car.
What's
because I used to have a
history of your
truck.
car? Yeah.
I used to have a pickup truck, and then I sold it, and now I want to get something else that could seat 4 people.
Yeah.
But every time I find something, I was thinking, or I could just buy another quirky, dumb car.
You look at those Tesla Y models and you go, it's cool, but it only gets 200 miles of range. And then will it drive in the snow? And then I'll look like another person driving a Tesla.
Yeah, another white Tesla in Suncrest.
I'll look like another...
That's what we needed.
And we get a lot of traffic updates from you about Teslas and Suncrest.
Yes. I mean, the Suncrest Facebook page, which I think I found, that's how, it's funny, that page, I've met so many great friends that I'll have for the rest of my life, I've met on that page.
Really?
Yeah, it's amazing. And the most helpful people, people you run into at the grocery store, love it or hate it, I don't know, it connects so much of Suncrest, especially for someone like myself who's not part of the local church scene, if that's what they call it.
Is there a local church scene in Utah? Is that...
There's no local synagogue scene.
Not a lot of Jewish culture in Utah, per se.
We have like 3.
Yeah, 3?
Yeah.
I didn't know how many. So maybe you're more connected than you think.
Yes, maybe.
So how did you find Suncrest then? Because you're a well-known person here. You've been here for... How long has it been now? 10? I said 10.
I've been here for 10 years,
10
it's
years.
gone super fast.
Yeah,
I remember the
like
first
that.
time driving up Traverse, like visiting, looking for a home. Driving up that road, the first time going up there, it feels like forever. Right? You're like, I'm driving into the clouds, where am I going?
You get to that point where the cell phones drop out, and you're like, this has to be the top. And then you take the next turn, you're like, how high does this go?
Yes. And I like that they've put in the cell phone towers now and haven't turned them on. That way you get all of the ugliness and the perfect Suncrest landscape, which they keep adding more tall stuff to. But they don't turn them on, so you still don't get service. So that's kind of fun.
It's like service theater. Like it's just giving you the illusion of service. So
it's
you think it's you, not them.
Yeah, it's like TSA. It feels like it's doing something. But it's just taking toothpaste from babies.
It's just me that's the problem. It's my old cell phone. I need to upgrade. It's my signal, not them.
Yes, that's the problem.
So you're driving up.
Yeah.
This was when you were in Arizona. You drove up. You found Suncrest somehow.
Yes,
Yeah.
I found this person that sells real estate up here. What's her name? Robin.
Robin?
Yeah,
Rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah. I found Robin and Scott.
Oh, great people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I love how much they do for our area and give back in their coat drive they do every year and so much stuff.
Great people. We'll have them on hopefully soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Or they've already been on. We just don't know yet.
Ooh.
They're not been on yet.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess there are so many people that do awesome things up here for
the whole community.
Lots of small businesses give back. It is a great sense of community up here. It's people, neighbors that may or may not have a lot in common, but there's always kids playing in the road.
Yeah.
Another great thing I love about it here compared to living in New York is like I could let my 9-year-old daughter walk out the front door. She crosses the street, goes plays with her friends, rides her bike, and then she comes back. It's like when people tell stories about when I was a child, we used to play until the streetlights came on.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is here, which I love. And family comes to visit from New York, and they're like, she just goes out the door? I was like,
In New York, they go out and don't come back. They disappear into the crowd.
yes. Yeah.
So how did you find So you found Robin. She
Online.
But you were sitting there at not this car dealership at that point. You were working a different job.
Yes, with internet.
Yeah, with internet, you were looking around.
Yeah,
but
found
what were you
Suncrest.
doing? You were working in the mortgage. Was it the mortgage market?
I was at that point. I was working in online marketing.
Okay.
I was using the computer again. There, look at that.
Look at you, Mr. Tech.
Yes, but I worked from home.
Look at you, head of the trends.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was doing COVID before COVID was cool.
You might be in stock cars but who knows it? And he might be predicting all the next things.
Yeah, I'm sure soon everyone will be driving NASCARs around town soon.
And have COVID,
Yeah. Instead of the mask, you just wear earplugs, though.
Yeah. So you're sitting there looking, and you find Utah because you've lived here before.
Yeah. I was just I was working. I had my own company. I was doing online marketing for chiropractors and dentists.
Interesting.
and was just doing that. So I could work kind of from wherever. So relocating was a non-issue. And we found Suncrest. I was like, this place is cool. It gives you the Utah feel, the proximity to skiing and whatnot, but still great family space and 10 minutes to the highway. And
you knew about Suncrest before living here, or you found it first time?
Online.
Wow. So when you came back, you were like, this is the place I want to be. This is the place I want to be.
Yes,
maybe?
this is the place.
You kind of almost reimagined a scene that happened 100 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
Stuck a shovel into us. Or there was a house already built, hopefully.
Yes, there was a home already built. I did not stick a shovel in anything. And, and yeah.
What year was that you came over?
2014.
2014. That doesn't feel that long ago, but I guess it is kind of long.
Yes, it doesn't feel like I've lived here for 10 years, but I love it here. Gosh,
You're not going anywhere.
No.
We can't get rid of you. We got to keep you.
No, if I go anywhere, it would be closer to skiing somewhere.
Closer to skiing?
Yeah.
But we're already, how far is skiing from? It's only like 25, 30 minutes with good traffic.
Good traffic?
When there was no congestion in the canyons. If that makes is that what it is?
I ski in Park City sometimes. Usually I go to Park City.
Park City?
Because that's where I learned to ski. Not learn to ski, but that's where in high school it feels like when I was skiing like 75, 80 days a year in high school.
It's like being a kid again.
Yeah, so that's why it feels like your home mountain.
That's where I would go too. So
yeah.
Because I moved to Utah when I was 17, and then I had the same experience. I go to Park City. It was called the Canyons back then.
Yeah.
And then there was 9990, this big lift, and
Yep.
it was like incredible. And I was like, how does no one know about this?
Yeah.
And then, but like, it's nice to hear that that's what drew you back in was the skiing.
Yes.
But you don't snowboard, you just ski.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because snowboarding is a failed attempt, or you don't like it.
You're trying to bait me into saying bad things about those people.
We're trying to see why you're not doing it. Because it's better.
I'm not going to answer that because you're trying to get me to say that what? That's for, I don't know. I feel like that's for the... fine, I'm going to say it. That's for like the unemployed stoner crowd.
The thing is you're not entirely wrong, because there's a lot of people that transition to skiing once they become established. So there is something about that.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something interesting going on there.
Yeah, and I learned to ski at the age of 3. So,
3?
Yeah, so walking around in, like, some people ask the snowboarders, right? Their boots are way more comfortable. They're like, yeah, you got to walk around in ski boots. I was like, yeah, but after you've been doing it for so long, you just get used to it.
But have you tried snowboarding or no?
I tried it one time in high school.
And there was too much weed involved. You couldn't handle it.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I can't grow long hair. I pretty much can't grow any hair.
I got you beat there.
Yeah. And,
this is all real, folks. Yeah.
And, you know, it's weird because you're used to, you could, if you've already been skiing a long time, right? Oh, I could ski down advanced runs, piece of cake. And then you get up there and you're falling down on a snowboard on a bunny trail. You're like, why am I wasting my time doing this?
I'm not this bad at this.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
It's like driving a car with the wrong side of the wheel and stick shift. It's not natural.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's so you find Suncrest, you buy a home. Are you in the same home today, or have you moved in a different area? So you moved to a different area in Suncrest.
Yeah, I used to live in Oak Vista.
Okay.
With a home that had like the best view of the Salt Lake Valley, which I missed that part because I think the views here, Suncrest has so much incredible things about up here that sometimes you'll be driving to your home and you don't even realize it, and you look up, you're like, oh my gosh, we live like right at the edge of a national forest.
Yeah.
In like the most pristine, like beautiful place.
You can see the mountains, the perfect view from here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can look out over all the people down in the valley. And
so the view is important to you. So you moved to a place with a view still,
kind of.
Imagining.
Kind of. Okay. I was waiting till... I live in the Edge Homes area now, Hidden Canyon Estates.
Okay.
Sounds very fancy.
Which is part of Suncrest, I would say.
I think it is.
I would call it Suncrest because it's all similar elevation, you know.
Yeah, some people say, well, it's not part of the HOA. Yeah, I was like, there's a Suncrest sign. It's between the two Suncrest signs.
Does the HOA own culture?
No. They cannot control us except for cable and internet.
And our driveways
our
and
garbage cans.
Color of home and
trees on the park strip.
Which is all completely fine. I have nothing wrong with that.
No, I like the design committee. Yeah, I moved over there, and I still wish it was part. I wish that neighborhood was part of the HOA.
But you still get involved in the Suncrest community all the time. You're doing.
Yeah, but you can still go to the pool. You just have to know someone.
Yeah. But but you've been here so long, it doesn't matter. It's you just know everybody. You know everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we want.
Yes. Being a member of the homeowners association isn't really.
Just make sure
it's a good perk though for not only I would go to the gym, but I'm not a member, so I can't.
Well, you're exercising. You're doing something. Something's there.
I just work around the house.
So work something that you still do. You still work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know. I thought when you get like gray that you could just stop working, but it turns out that's not what determines that.
So I thought retirement was an age, not a financial state. For a while when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, you have to actually get there.
Yeah.
That's kind of terrifying. But you're almost there, according to the late 1900s.
Where?
Retirement. You're almost there.
I am. I'm 42.
We got him to say an age.
Yes.
But you're still working. You're still middle of your career, so to speak. You're still going for
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I'm past midlife crisis already.
You have the race car, so you're past midlife crisis.
Yes.
Where are you at now in your
Yeah, it was weird. I was, I had the internet marketing stuff, which was great.
Yeah.
And no matter what I've done for work, I've made sure that lifestyle is also a part of it. And it's not just, I guess to move to a place like this, right? Didn't want to sit in an office doing boring stuff. I need a lot of stimulation. I'm a little all over the place.
You like quirky things.
Yeah.
Not snowboarding though. It's too quirky.
Yeah. I'm not there yet.
You're very conservative with the skiing, but everything else you're fine with being quirky.
Yes. Exactly. And I had that internet marketing stuff going on for a while. It was great.
Yeah.
And it was designed to drive new patients into healthcare offices. Well, then COVID comes around and pretty much says we're closing of course, they're not closing all the healthcare offices. They're only closing the offices that I was servicing. It was like the chiropractors and dentists were closed. Felt like the hospitals were still open, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
Hospitals don't need to market for new patients. They just need
just exist.
Pandemic. And
people existing make themselves patients.
Yes, which I'm not going to get into my thoughts on that right now. We could do that in a private session.
That's a different podcast, everyone.
Yes.
That's Peter's other channel.
Unplugged.
Driving you to.
And so I found myself with what do I do for work? I had this company that was doing business.
Right. So you're sitting at home here in Suncrest.
Yeah.
Twiddling your thumbs with internet. Still.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And a view of the city.
Okay.
And
a million ideas.
And then COVID comes.
Yeah.
And actually, I'd already moved from that home by the time COVID came. So, but yeah, and I was like, I need to do something. I was like, well, I used to work in used cars, but we're not going back there.
Clownfish market. That's what your next thought was, clownfish.
I should have done that, but I did the mortgage thing. Got back into that again with a connection that I had up here.
In Suncrest.
Someone I met from the residence page that I had known socially, Clark Harvey.
Hey, Clark, if you're here still.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Miss you. He moved to St. George.
Okay.
And lives down there. We still stay, we talk all the time.
Okay.
And I got back. He's like, if you want to come work for me here, go ahead.
He was doing mortgage.
Yeah.
Mortgage stuff.
Yes, mortgage stuff.
Okay, that's very vague. I think.
Yes, he was doing mortgage things.
Okay.
And so then I was like, well, I'll do mortgage things too. So I went and got the exam and refreshed on a bunch of things because a lot had changed in the mortgage industry from prior to the all the mortgage meltdown, 2007, whatever, when there was so much wrong with
2008. You mean
somewhere in there.
So a ton had changed. So he had to kind of relearn the entire industry.
Yes.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
So you're just sitting at home studying. Do you have to take tests or what?
You take tests and.
Oh my word.
That's fine.
So it can't just be any old schlub snowboarding. Can't roll.
No, only skiers. Actually, that's one of the things. They do your fingerprints. They've done they do the.
They do fingerprints for mortgage stuff.
I've had because you're handling a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the ability you're in a position where fraud exists, right?
Yeah.
And and they scare you with a million things. But yeah, they have to do like the most recent exam and background checks. They do all your background check, credit report, whatever, all that stuff. But they did like a palm scan.
Imagining the Men in Black scene when Will Smith's trying to get into the Men in Black, and there's all that is it like that?
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, you haven't seen that movie? You've only seen 6 movies, that's right.
7.
Yeah. So you're self-educating all this stuff during COVID. He's kind of helping you learn the ropes.
I always grew up, I don't know, math and finance and stuff was always kind of fun and interesting to me. And yeah, it was just kind of a good fit. I like communicating and talking with people and forming relationships. For a lot of the people, it's buying their first home, which is so cool to be able to be a part of that, especially when someone doesn't think they could qualify for a home or whatnot.
But wait, you can.
Yes.
So wait,
Call today.
But here's a question. So I remember buying my first house,
Yeah.
and this is our second home right now. And it was, both times were terrifying, right? I was like, dude, how is this even happening, right?
Yeah.
You seem to make people comfortable. So you were working with him, or how were you initially involved? And then how did you grow from there? Because are you still with him today, or?
No, now as of like a year ago or somewhere around there, we are. I flew the nest.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to explain the hat then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a little shameless plug there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. In, I guess, similar to real estate, you can't just start your own brokerage. You need X number of years of experience because a different license is required from just, on the mortgage side, just being an MLO, a mortgage loan originator.
Oh, that jargon.
Yes, very fancy.
Wow. MLO.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to confuse with MLM, which is really more
Which is
well-known.
also a mortgage plan for some people, depending on how.
More well known in Utah here. And then after X number of years of experience, you have to achieve certain financial metrics and close loans.
Okay.
Then you could be a broker. So now I'm actually the broker owner of Blue Sky Home Loans.
But you're not broke. You're just brokering.
I'm broker.
You're broker. More broke than normal.
Broke.
You're more broking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's more compliance stuff, more of this, more of yes. They send an inspector to your home.
To your house.
Yes. An inspector comes to the house to make sure I have they have to come to your home to make sure you have a paper shredder.
Make sure you're not broke.
Yes. A paper shredder, that my home office has to have a lock on the door, that I have to have a...
Wait, this is real? This actually happened?
Yes. A lockable box for documents. I was like, I just have a computer. They're like, you need something that you could lock with a key.
See, this is the home buying experience I think experienced, was that guy.
Yeah, I try to make it as
whoa.
casual and easy as possible for people, because there are times where it can be uncomfortable, especially if people aren't comfortable with their financial picture, or if they've had credit issues in the past or been turned down in the past and come into it with like, oh.
So if I'm a first-time home buyer, let's pretend I haven't bought a house yet, and I come to you,
good.
I say, dude, I want to live in Suncrest or wherever. Can you buy a house anywhere? Like, what do you actually do with someone like me who's, in this scenario? What do you tell me?
You can buy a home anywhere. I'm licensed in Utah.
Utah.
So please buy a home in Utah.
Ah.
Yes, that would be helpful.
So I was like, but you're like, but look over here, not in Tucson. Look over here. There's stuff here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even St. George, that's like hot. And
So you direct people's focus to Utah first.
Yes.
Foremost. And then what? Then what? So now I'm in Utah. I'm in Utah land now.
Yeah, I guess one of the things that I think most people don't do when they're looking, most people, the first thing they do when looking for a home is they call a realtor. A connection.
That's what I did. Yeah, I was like,
which most people,
which worked out. Yeah,
most people do. They're like, oh, looking for a house, call a realtor.
I will say our second realtor was great, by the way. She was excellent. But first time's terrifying. Yeah. So first time, call a realtor, terrified.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but legitimate, like the actual process should start with getting pre-approved for the home, because if not, you're guessing at what you can afford.
Yeah.
You may be selling yourself short, thinking, oh, I really wish I could get a home like this, but I don't know if I can qualify for it. Or you could be looking at a home that you do not qualify for. Yeah. So going through the pre-approval process first, where we just capture some documents. That's pretty quick and easy.
Which you do all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, and then that way, good. You call the realtor, and you're able to then introduce yourself, have a communication. Here's where I'm looking for a home. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm pre-approved up to X. At least you know. Good. There's no point in looking at a home for $1 more than that.
So you kind of give the person, and me in this scenario, the confidence to buy before finding a realtor.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I should write that down.
Let me add that to my hat real quick.
I'm gonna put that on, we'll put that on the website. Yeah, and it's
Brought to you by Blue Sky Home Loans.
yes, exactly. Which I am coming back to the skiing thing, and I've been skiing for 40 years almost, and when I met my wife and she told me she skied, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, fine. I'm sure you do ski, lady, but I ski.
I moved here for skiing.
Yeah, I didn't know she was like junior Olympic skier and like top 3 in New York.
Really?
Yeah, so she kicks my butt.
Wow.
But anyway, we're on the way skiing one day a year or two ago, and I like the bluebird skies. You know, you're pulling up to the ski resort, and it's one of those days where everything just feels right. And some people, they want to go jump off cliffs. They love the powder. They love this. I love a perfectly groomed run where you carry some nice speed and carve and some G-forces, and it's just you like back and forth with the mountain. And it was one of those days. I was like, oh gosh, I just love the blue sky. And so that's what I was like, that's a good name.
And you hadn't LLC'd the name or?
No, I had to go. I made sure there was like
Wow.
made sure that there was a domain.
It's a cool logo. So is the logo, is it a person looking at the sky and there's a bird flying? Is that what I'm seeing in the bee? And
I don't know.
It's like you could take, well, it's like the bee is,
Yeah.
there's like
there's a bee.
silhouette of a person.
Yeah, and then there's like a
looking.
little bird. Yeah. I don't think there's a silhouette of a person in there.
What is that then on the bottom of the left side of the bee?
I'm gonna have to take my hat off.
Everyone look away.
It's a cloud.
Oh, it's a cloud. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a gradient there. It's a cloud.
Okay. I could see it being either or.
Wait, there shouldn't be a cloud though if it's a blue sky thing.
That's what I was saying as a person. Like
Yeah, it's a person then. It's a sleeping snowman. I don't know.
Like it's clever because it's sideways. You know.
Yes.
Like you're getting up off of the ski run because you fell over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try not to do that. My advanced age. I dislocated my shoulder doing that.
It could be a cloud. It could be a cloud. It's like a cloud and a cloud. It could be a cloud.
Yeah.
I'm misexplaining the logo, but it's a nice logo. Yeah.
Thanks.
Did you design it yourself?
No, I told the internet to design it. And 8 seconds later, AI sends back like, here's 1,000 options. Pick one. You pick one, you give them like $6, and now you have a logo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so you now own your own business. You've owned it for how many years now? And you're giving people confidence in the home buying process.
Officially with Blue Sky, it's 2024 is the official start year of it legally.
Wow. So
as
last
its own
year.
entity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I've been performing the same role as, working directly with the consumer, with the home buyer on it. But now, just as the owner of the brokerage, you have a little more freedom, a little more.
I like that.
But a lot of compliance.
Well, it's
a lot of paperwork.
It's terrifying, you know.
Yeah, a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, you make it not seem scary though.
Yeah, you have to fill out a lot of stuff online, and they're always checking on you. And
yeah, but you love, clowning around there,
No, that is the worst part about it. I love, I try to make it fun. I go to almost every closing, which most mortgage brokers, lenders, whether you work with a bank or whatever, most of them don't go to the closings because I have no role there besides just sitting down and saying hi. I don't have anything to do. But a lot of the people, even if it's people in Suncrest, I'll never meet them in person. We'll speak on the phone and I'll help them with the purchase of their home, and it's a huge financial commitment for people. And I like to go to the closings because you get to meet someone and shake their hand and say, thanks for your trust with this process. Thanks for the referrals. Let me know if I could do anything better. Leave me a good review on Google.
And then they do all those things. They tell you.
Absolutely. And then I bring them a gift or two to bribe them.
Yeah.
And
it's like you've already done that beforehand to bribe them, but you're bribing them after the close.
Yes. You got to make sure. Got to make sure they're signing
stuff.
Sign the papers. Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun because it's a quicker, less painless process for the buyer than going to work. If you go to work at, if you work with like a bank, you go to Wells Fargo or Bank of America or somewhere else, it takes them 3 times longer. You're calling a call center and speaking with all these random people.
Yeah.
For me, it's, here's my cell phone, call, text, I don't know. If you're looking at a home on Sunday and you need a pre-approval done real quick, good luck calling the bank.
So you're saying right now that anybody watching could call you today if they wanted to?
Call me right now.
What's your number?
801-988-9300.
That sounds so salesy. This isn't about selling your... I just love that you own your own business.
Yeah.
So the whole vibe of Suncrest, and what drew me into Suncrest is everybody here is like here for a reason.
Yeah.
And you're here for a reason. And that's why I love people meeting people in our neighborhood. And this is a product of COVID. What happened was COVID happened. You know, you'd see people like you on the Facebook page, and I'm like, Facebook's a great place, but it's not the only place. You know, we have our neighborhood, we have our HOA, we have a lot of people that are doing great stuff. But I love that there's people owning their own businesses up here and solving their own problems, but also adding a ton of value for us as residents. Is like you being here gives us a huge leg up on other communities that don't have someone like you in it. So I love.
You're welcome. What can I say? I mean,
well,
yes. So if you say it like that, that sounds really nice.
But ultimately, you're doing a lot of good service for people doing that service.
Yeah, I try to give back a little to the community sometimes instead of just being like the smart ass on the Facebook page, which that is my preferred. If you ask me like what would I do all day, I like to tinker and build stuff. But like I love stand-up comedy. Like I could watch like Seinfeld reruns every night.
Same,
Still the best TV show, hands down, ever.
It is
made.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like talking to people.
So when you give back to the community, what's something? Do you have anything that you're involved in currently that you give back with?
I spearhead the neighborhood food drive. I think we've done that 6 of the last 7 years. I put out the Great Maple Hollow Fire of 2000. I don't know. We'll call it 19, something like that.
Wait, put out a fire. Wait, what? What's the?
Oh, that.
What? The food drive, I understand. That's food for thought. But this fire thing, what is this?
Nice dad jokes. Thank you.
Yes. Not Seinfeld level, but it's somewhere.
It's somewhere. It was...
Wait, the Maple Hollow fire that happened...
No, not like that huge fire that was coming up the hill, like, where they were evacuating people, like, 4 or 5 years ago.
We, packed our whole car up. We had everything from our house in our cars.
Oh, really?
We were ready to leave, yeah. But I learned you could just have insurance replace it all.
Yes. You just take all the stuff you don't want and leave it there?
So we shoved it back in the house, like, burn.
Yeah.
But what was this fire?
We're not supposed to be laughing about the fire.
No.
Okay.
We're serious. What happened? Take us back.
I'm so bad at being serious.
Yeah.
No, it was maybe 5 years ago, something like that. I was landscaping in my backyard, just digging holes, planting stuff, and I was on the way down Suncrest Drive. And I was driving my truck down to the nursery, and like the plant nursery, not the kid nursery.
Okay. I'm like, how are you taking a kid? It was a 2-seater truck.
No, that truck, it was a Silverado.
A Chevy.
Well, it was a GMC, so it was a...
GMC. I don't know cars that well.
Sierra.
Yeah, it's not a Porsche.
No.
Or Porsche. So you're driving down the hill.
I'm driving down the hill, and I have my daughter, who's about like 4 or 5 at the time, in the back seat, and one of those green transformer boxes, which they have since redone now, on the side of the hill was like fire was coming out of it, and like the grass around it was... I must have driven by like at the perfect time.
Like it spontaneously combusted.
Yeah, there was a little fire in the grass. And so I was like, I don't know what to do. So I got out, and I was wearing just like some basketball shorts, which is perfect, and a pair of like ankle high Carhartt work boots, because I was landscaping the backyard, and so all I could do was like try to stomp it out.
What? And
so I ran over there, and I mean, it's low grass fire. I'm not a firefighter running into a burning building, so we're not gonna. I'm far from that. Yeah. And it was like a little grass fire that was just maybe like, I don't know, 8-10 square feet, but it's all in the middle of all the grass, and so it's like, so I just started stomping on it and trying to kick dirt and running around, And it's like burning my leg hair off. And some landscapers stopped, and they had some shovels, which were way better than work boots.
Now we're talking. Yeah.
And then myself and those 2 other guys that stopped, we put out the fire. Then Draper Fire pulled up, and they're like, "Good job." And then they left. And then, it was someone on the residence page posted something about it.
Yeah.
At which point, one of our city council members, Tasha Lowry, said, "Oh, we'd like to
Tasha,
recognize you at the city council meeting next month." So I was like, "Wow." And so there's a picture of me somewhere with all the city council members and the mayor.
And no leg hair.
I don't know if it grew back by then or not. I don't know. And they gifted me 4 crumble cookies.
4 cookies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not much of a dessert
Were they
person.
intended for just you or for like your family? That's what I wanted. Was it 4 cookies for Peter or was it 4 cookies for Peter's family?
I don't know.
And did they know that there were cookies rewarded?
I didn't ask.
Did your family know did they ever make it home?
Yeah, I'm not big into the sweets.
Okay.
I'm not a big crumble, swig. Yeah.
Well, you're not from Utah originally. You know?
No.
You're into pizza and those types of things.
Yes, pizza,
Yeah.
bagels, Chinese food.
Yes, that's the pyramid.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm just into that. And Italian food.
Yeah.
All Italian food.
Italian food's good. Yeah.
They have the best food.
Yeah. Olive Garden's a great place. If you haven't been there yet, it's an up and coming
It's
restaurant.
disgusting. No to Olive Garden.
But you have some steaks, some shares in Olive Garden.
No involvement in Olive Garden. Growing up Jewish on Long Island, which we're only known food-wise, we're only good for breakfast.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's really nothing good in like the Jew food.
Is that
world.
where the bagels come from? Is breakfast?
Yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
can eat them whenever you want.
But that's what they're known for is the bagels.
Yeah, there's like bagel shops in like every shopping center on Long Island.
yeah.
And then after that, you're kind of on your own for the rest of the day. And that's where everyone, like almost everyone there, has got a little Italian just because the food. It's so much better.
So that's where the love from it comes from, is growing up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
coming on the podcast today.
Wait, we're done?
Well, we could keep going, but you really should meet Peter in person. So we're trying, I don't know what runtime we're at even. We're at an hour, yeah.
Oh, shit. I mean, oh, shoot.
I can bleep it.
No, don't. Do we have to?
No.
We can do whatever we want.
I think after 14 or 15 minutes, YouTube doesn't check censoring anymore on speech. So you could have been using a whole bunch of words.
I could just say it again right now.
You could say it every time if you want.
I don't know if
I don't know who's watching this though.
I don't know if anyone's
Who's
still
watching.
If someone's still watching, clearly that would mean they do give a shit. Oh, yeah.
do?
If I say it too much, though, then some people are going to think I'm not
Their kid-
trustworthy.
Their mom walks in. What are you watching? I'm watching Peter Drubin, Mom.
Yeah,
Get that out of here.
that smut. It's like people watching Elvis Presley back in the day, and the women are fainting.
What is he doing? Like mortgage broking? What is this guy doing?
Yes, just brokering mortgages live.
What?
Yeah,
Well, thanks for jumping on, Peter.
absolutely. Thank you.
It's a new format. Peter was one of the first people to agree to do it, so thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I want
Thank you. And yes,
Yeah.
anytime when you're bored, I'll just come over here and swear, and we can talk about cars. And
We have 30 episodes of just Peter. But please, if you want to jump on, let us know. I'll get you on this new thing we're doing. But Peter, you'll be the first one on the page, I think.
oh,
So
sweet.
people will meet you first, and then from there we'll get maybe Tasha on. She seems like she'd be a good fit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's up to her. So yeah, but thank you once again, Peter. And I think we'll cut it here. So that's how we're ending it, I guess. I don't know how to end these.
Yeah.
Check us out on Facebook, maybe.
It should be like, I get up and trip over the wire.
Yeah.
Shit!
Thanks, man.
That was fun.
That was awesome.